My next guest, I'm super excited to bring her on. I've been hooked on her podcast / YouTube video series. Adrianne, Gunn, come on out. Woo!
Yay!
We're here.
We are!
Yeah.
Look at us!
From the Hip with Adrianne Gunn.
Yes.
Let's talk about this series.
Yeah, that is the title of the show that I do.
Yeah. You did a little research.
Yeah, so it's conversations in the service of passion, purpose, and play. It's pretty fun. I got really excited because we're just going to have a conversation on your show about the show that I do where we have conversations on the show. I don't know. It felt really meta. I was really excited for it. I frequently talk to entrepreneurs, artists, creatives, a bit like this format, and we get into it's sort of this like curated in the moment thing.
Series.
I'm trying to capture authentic connection. I'd been chewing on this idea for about 3 years, and I don't know if this happened to you, if this was why you've started this. Yes, but like. As a musician, as a person who trained myself in personal development, like I'm trained in ninja Jedi skills to help people like shift their patterns and baggage really quickly. When I started doing myself for a living, the world became more of like a all like 24-hour spiritual quest of connecting with people, of like magic moments happening all over the place. And I kept finding myself saying, holy crap, I wish I'd had a camera on that conversation. Like, I kept bumping into people that just unexpectedly had so much wisdom to offer. Just life-altering conversations. Is this kind of
No,
for you?
I feel like this is my experience in Portland in general. Is I meet so many people on the streets. It's just like this intelligence, these conversations, they're just so rich. That's a lot of the reason why I developed this show, because I run into so many amazing people on such a consistent basis, and I'm just like, I gotta showcase that. The world needs to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the impetus for me was geeking out in entrepreneuring and personal development. There's this theory, some of you have heard it, your success and the quality of your life is dependent on like the 5 people you hang out with the most, right? And I think they sort of are suggesting you're supposed to just like dump or like upgrade your friends and family. But I got curious about, since I'd had the opportunity of meeting so many fabulous and fantastic people who would either have a life-altering conversation with me, or I would get a life-altering result from a conversation with them. I kept wondering, like, how well do we know the 5 closest people in our life? Like, how connected are we? How much are we taking interest in them? And so the earnest effort that I am doing with this show From the Hip is turning a camera on as authentically and without trying to structure it to showcase what happens when you choose to find somebody interesting.
Yeah.
Because I know you do this every week. When you choose to find someone interesting, they light up.
Yeah.
And magic happens, and it goes in unexpected ways.
Yeah.
And it's been a pretty big deal so far.
It's been great. I really enjoy the segments that you've posted on YouTube. You impart so much wisdom in these small conversations, and I like to say, like, you will find whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for like anger in the world, you'll see it. But for me, I made that switch to, I just want to see people live their best lives.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is to become a cheerleader for people to see themselves in such a light. I think when people align themselves with their passion, we're able to like reap the rewards of so much, and the community gains so much.
Absolutely.
From those scenarios. And I think that's exactly what you're doing with the show.
Yeah, and one of the things I got really excited about was, I don't know, maybe you guys coffee or do drinks, right? So the kinds of, it's the arc of sitting down with a good friend having coffee, only maybe we've just met, and discovering people. We live in such a, I don't know, we have like initials and abbreviates for phrases that are truncated versions of really concepts that are probably pretty harsh. So text, you can get misunderstood. Everybody lives in sound bites. There's this way that part of our disconnection that's happening sometimes in our society is that we don't just take the time to fully just drop in.
Yeah.
Ready to connect. Ready for the... Some people do talk in 20-second bits. I've learned this from video editing, this show. Like,
yeah.
Some people have concepts that last 10 minutes, and some people, you know, and when you choose to sit with them and explore who they are, it changes all of us.
Totally.
When we're willing to sit down with somebody's actual story.
Yeah, and sometimes we reveal things about ourselves that they haven't even surfaced to our consciousness.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to make it sound like it's all like positivity and like upgrading your lifestyle and that sort of thing. Because sometimes we talk about poop.
Okay.
Yeah, that's come up. And sometimes, but it's just like every conversation's a bit different.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever the person I'm sitting with, whatever they're bringing. I was really excited. Because in the 3 years of gestating this idea, I had had a bunch of illnesses, I'd had issues in my own business, I'd had all these different markers of conversations that had changed my life, and so part of the curation is having people on. One of the episodes I'm excited about coming up, actually there are two in this direction. One of them is with a performer friend of mine who had had Lyme disease and injuries that stalled he thought he had to quit singing forever. So we talked about the ways that you know, diseases and illness and your low points can help you forward. And then the next one is about a friend that's suffered a lot of grief lately, and I had also lost a really good friend of mine. And so, like, there's tenderness in dark moments, and there's weird kinds of joy when you drop in and explore people in conversation.
So you're trying to get, like, the whoality. I'm going to make that word, whoality.
Yes!
of life, like, through conversation. And I love that it is from the hip, because you discover, like I said before, so much about yourself when you just go.
Yeah. I found pretty nearly every interview, I have this moment where I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. But I sit down and we just go.
Yeah.
You know, that's sort of a recent motto of showing up to life.
Yeah.
One of the interviews is with a woman who is a producer for Oprah and Dr. Phil. So I'm interviewing a professional interviewer hired by the top caliber TV shows, and I decided how to prepare for that was just to not. Because I'm not going to suddenly jump through that refrigerator time machine thing. What happened? But I'm not going to find a way to be a different person than I am now. So just figuring out a way to say yes. And what's great is the people who I've invited to the show are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a leap of faith together on a couch.
I feel like we're in a similar journey, and a lot of my preparedness is getting to know who I am as an individual, and to watch you do it in your series, it's like it's obvious to me that you are grounding yourself as an individual so that you can have these conversations with high-level individuals who are accomplishing so much.
Oh yeah.
Tell me a bit about your process of getting to know yourself.
Yeah, so I guess I have this funny knack. I also do weird videos where I turn the camera around or I'll jump on stage and I get this people will say to me, "Oh my gosh, you made that look so easy. I wish I could do that." So there's a way in which there's actually quite a lot of craft and training. I've actually specifically trained in communication forms and acting and music, performance, sales, marketing. It's all forms of communication. And most recently, I studied hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming. So there are a lot of things that I'm specifically doing that are about building rapport, about asking questions and using my language in a particular way. So not to bum everybody out and I'm highly trained in conversations, but that is one of the things that's going on. So partly I do some energy grounding before I sit with a person. And there's a way that I like to utilize myself to help other people feel comfortable, and a way that I like to ease into the conversation so that they're willing to and more easily able to reveal fun things that are juicy. Or some of it is being trained in hearing the underneath, when I'm helping somebody shift a pattern, if they're a client of mine, they want to quit smoking. I can hear in the language they use some of the old stuff that created the habit in the first place. And so that I've got that turned on while I'm having these conversations. And then there's just all those like lonely years of watching lots of stand-up comedy and sitcoms and movies that I like to tap into. I think it's important for all of the binge watching of entertainment that I've had to have it fully utilized.
Interesting. That's awesome. Adrianne Gunn, From the Hip with Adrianne Gunn. Tell us how we could find it on the internet.
Well, the cool thing is that nobody had like done From the Hip show at all of the places, so you can go to Instagram like at From the Hip Show or Twitter at From the Hip Show, but it's fromthehipshow.com.